Dear students, is there something that we can learn from the animal world? The answer is yes. Let's look at lessons for the HR manager from the animal world. Management is what a HR manager does. Management was, is, and always will be the same thing, the art of getting things done. And to get things done, HR managers must act themselves and also mobilize collective action on the part of his team members. He also needs to be intuitive, humane and inclusive, the kind of skills that are not taught and also difficult to teach. To help him do this, we look up to the animal world for lessons in management. Animal world, including insects, has long been a source of amazement, inspiration and metaphor to human society and even to some writers on management. It inspires awe and evokes emotion. There are many beautiful things to discover in the animal world. There are many terrible things that happen too. Some people love the animal kingdom, its perils and battles, its struggles and its magic. Others get completely put off by the aggression required to survive and the ruthlessness directed at other species. However, it is good to recall that both the beauty and the horror are judged by our own human standards. Let us start with knowledge sharing. A good HR manager must encourage knowledge sharing among his team members. This we learn from bees. Bees have honed an exceptionally complex system of information exchange by which they monitor internal and external conditions, convey hive status and needs to one another, and direct activities. After all, most organizations have a collective font of knowledge and experience that is deep, rich and varied. All employees, no matter their experience or position in the company, have the potential to contribute to strategy, tactics and capabilities. Determining how to tap this resource and to generate knowledge sharing in organizations is a key requirement for a manager. A good HR manager must listen to his team. He must be able to listen to the soft, barely audible signals outside the normal hearing range, the infrasound like the pigeon. It will contain messages for him. Pigeons' ears are particularly good at detecting very low frequency sounds called infrasound, including the very low frequency acoustic shock waves generated by ocean waves crashing against one another. This acoustic beam always tells the pigeons where the ocean is. Even more valuable to pigeons is infrasound reflected from cliffs, mountains and other steep-sided features of the Earth's surface. In every organization, there are sounds to be heard as well as echoes and sound reflections to be sensed. Those echoes and reflections are faint, and the astute manager has to strain hard to identify them and catch the message. In short, managers must listen to the infrasound in their organization. A good HR manager must have the ability to read signals emitting from his team. Managers must develop enormously long sensors that read signals from and far beyond their immediate surroundings. This enables them to feel and touch what is going on, giving them a chance to adapt like the cave cricket. Cave cricket live deep in caves where light never reaches. They have minute eyes or are even eyeless. In spite of this, it finds food because they have feelers or antennae up to 4 times the length of their body. It is by the dexterous use of these extra long antennae that they survive the extreme conditions they encounter. A good HR manager must mentor, coach his team members. A good manager must be a good mentor or coach to his employees. This is best learned from the ferocious looking bird falcon, which is synonymous with the Arab traditions and culture. There is a relationship between the falcon and the falconer, which is why training of a falcon in Arabia takes 3 weeks, just half of the time it takes in other countries. The falcon never parts company with its master. The trainer carries the bird wherever he goes, communicating with it all the way in one way or the other, feeding it, stroking it, even holding conversations with it. The emotional bond between the two, called coaching or mentoring, accelerates training greatly. This is also learned by observing elephants. Elephant calves thrive on long-term care. The mother suckles the baby for 2 whole years after birth. During this long period, the baby also learns the finer points about elephant society and picks up vital information about how to find the best places to eat and drink. A good HR manager must be patient with the employees. Who else teaches this better than the tortoise? Tortoise teaches the quality of patience in leadership and management. Patience is soft and gentle, and it can be powerful. A good HR manager must lead his team. Aspiring managers can learn a thing or two from ants: how to work hard for what they want and how best to lead their team in simple ways. Ants are some of the most diligent creatures on earth. The tale of the ant and the grasshopper tells us that this tiny animal slogs all day and gathers food for its community when it is available and stores it away for leaner times. It does not waste time and does what it needs to do to secure its future. Also, the ant uses pheromones to leave trails for its fellow ants. This helps the bunch find the fastest way to food and the best way to avoid danger. A good HR manager must praise his employees. Dolphin trainers will attest to the fact that these beautiful beasts of the sea are not like other animals. They don't respond positively to threats or punishments of any kind. Rather, if you want the dolphin to do your bidding, you must coax, cajole, and praise. In our world too, praise and encouragement work much better in getting people to do your bidding willingly. The operative word here is willingly, because any task done unwillingly is never well done. A good HR manager must learn to handle all sorts of situations. This is best learnt from a crane. Cranes are opportunistic feeders that change their diet according to the season and their own nutrient requirements. They eat selectively a range of items from suitably sized rats, fish, frogs, insects and berries and plants. This in most ways ensures their survival, and by the same token, managers need to be situational or agile and with high adversity quotient, able to take the heat. A good HR manager must learn to handle change. Snakes shed off or change their skins often. Managers also need to lead change by being fluid in accepting and managing change. A good HR manager must give space to his employees. The more space given to employees, more their growth is accelerated. Management revolves around empowerment and delegation. This we learn from cutla fish, whose growth is accelerated by increasing the space for growth. Cutla fish could grow to a certain size in limited ponds. However, when it rained a lot, the ponds overflowed. The fish could swim more vigorously over longer distances. They found that such fish attained in 9 months a 3-fold increase in growth rate. A good HR manager must always plan ahead. Western scrub jays store food in scattered caches within their territories. They rely on highly accurate and complex memories to recover the hidden caches, often after long periods of time. In the process of collecting and storing this food, they have shown an ability to plan ahead in choosing cache sites to provide adequate food, volume, and variety for the future. Likewise, a good manager also needs to plan ahead always. Dear students, to conclude, given the stressful and competitive world managers live in, it is indeed tempting to be part of the animal world. American writer Walt Whitman's lines in A Song of Myself is opposite to this feeling. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, not to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. Thank you.